Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the QuickClick marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique quick link that she can share with friends to begin earning quick cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's quick link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's quick link, Laura receives quick cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own quick link and begin earning quick cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new quick link makes, Laura will earn additional quick cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their quick cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use quick cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at quickclick.com. Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the QuickClick marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique quick link that she can share with friends to begin earning quick cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's quick link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's quick link, Laura receives quick cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own quick link and begin earning quick cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new quick link makes, Laura will earn additional quick cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their quick cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use quick cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at quickclick.com. Welcome to QuickClick, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing spend, so she decides to list her products on QuickClick. On QuickClick, her loyal customers can get paid sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the Quick Click marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura receives a unique quick link that she can share with friends to begin earning quick cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's quick link on her phone and purchases the pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's quick link, Laura receives quick cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own quick link and begin earning quick cash as well. But QuickClick is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. QuickClick rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new quick link makes, Laura will earn additional quick cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their quick cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use quick cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at QuickClick.com.
Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. The Female Solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution radio show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in Canada, has been...
Not quite sure what happened.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Grand Rising, and thank you so much for joining me today. It is Monday morning. It is Monday, October 24th. Thank you so much for joining the show. I'm your host, Zelda Speaks, and today is a very special day. And I want to thank you for joining me and for sharing this video, because it is so important. The stories that you hold in your heart and in your family, they don't need to be kept there. They need to be on the screen so that other people can benefit from it. Okay? And that's what we're celebrating, 50 years of filmmaking today, with the executive producer of the Chicago Community Filmmaking, Margaret Caples, and she'll be joining us after 7:30, as will our executive producer, Naima Latif, will be joining the show as well. Happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If you're celebrating a birthday today, know that it is the month of Libras. We celebrated last week. We celebrated Herb Kent's birthday. We celebrated Troy Tyler's birthday. We celebrated my brother Patrick's birthday. And we're celebrating your birthday too. So happy Earth Day, birthday, born day. If today's your birthday. And if you're celebrating for the month of October, Libras. Libra love. Okay. Alrighty. Now, in the news, you need to know. Well, I always say let's keep in prayer the sick and the shut in and the non believers and those who are just in need of prayer. And once again, our condolences to the family of our sister of the microphone, Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, who made her transition ago a week. Tomorrow, I think it is. And that information will be available. Naima Latif will have that information on her homegoing memorial. Okay, in the news, today starts early voting. You have been warned by Dr. Willie Wilson with the challenge that he is going through. He delivered a letter to City Hall. We marched around City Hall last week, the week before that. He filed suit against the Chicago Board of Elections because over 50% of the polling places have been closed. Yeah. So that means chances are when you go to vote, the police won't be there and you're going to be a little bit upset. So you might want to get with early voting today. And if you are listening online and like to call in and join the conversation after 7:30, that would be 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak. And you can also watch us on the Higher Learning Network TV show, which airs Tuesdays at 6, Wednesdays at 1 on Channel 19. And you can also watch our Facebook and YouTube channel are both the same. Higher Learning TV show on Facebook and YouTube. Higher Learning TV show. Okay, I said that right. I got it. All right. And if you are headed out and about this morning, then you know it is crazy Monday and it is busy traffic. So let's check in right about now. It is Monday morning madness, and everywhere you look, there is traffic and then some more traffic. So please allow yourself extra time this morning, because this is not the morning to be late. Okay, so as we take a look at the major expressways and the weather, traffic and weather, sponsored by Karen Kelly of iText.com. Excuse me. 75 degrees today. Wasn't it nice yesterday? Oh, we went to DuSable Park yesterday. Is there such thing as DuSable Park? Well, I call it DuSable Park. It's the museum behind the DuSable. It's the park behind the DuSable Museum. Is that Washington Park? Okay. What just happened to my phone? The phone just cut off. I mean, everything that can happen this morning is happening. Okay, y'all, just bear with me. I got to dial back into my own show. What kind of craziness is this? But we had a good time last night. We had an excellent. Yeah, I got to call in. I got cut off from my own show. Lord have mercy. 515-605-9325. As long as the phone is still working. Is that crazy or what? Yep, it's back on.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you'll be able to listen to the show.
I am so sorry. I had the wrong thing scrolling there. There you go. Okay, traffic and weather brought to you by Karen Kelly of iTex.com. 75 degrees today, no rain, but there's a 60% chance of rain tomorrow. 63 degrees tomorrow. It's another 75 today, but 63 tomorrow. And a 90% chance of rain. How do you like that? Well, if you are headed out and about this morning on CTA, there are no reported delays on Metro. But on CTA, it's a whole other story, honey. It's delays everywhere. Delays at Argyle due to someone getting sick on the train. As we take a look at the Kennedy inbound, it is not a lovely picture. 39 in, 27 out. You expect to be late if you're headed to O'Hare today. On the Edens, 24 in, 23 out. On the Eisenhower, it's an hour in both directions. At 25th Avenue, there's a multi-car crash. As a result, it's a mess at 25th Avenue, so you may as well get off the expressway and start walking. Yeah, right. Inbound on the Stevenson, 34, 26 on the reverse. It's causing a delays. The Ike is causing a delays everywhere. 19 inbound on the Dan Ryan, 15 on the outbound on the Bishop Ford. It's slow at 103rd to 115th due to delays. There's a long delay due to the crash, which is causing the backup. And also on Lakeshore Drive, it's causing a backup there as well. It's 9 minutes in, 8 minutes out. Also at Jackson northbound, it's packed solid through Grant Park. Strongly suggest you take Columbus Drive. And that's your traffic and weather, sponsored by Karen Kelly at iTex.com. If you are a business owner or entrepreneur in need of anything that you can get at Target, Walmart, anywhere else, or you want to travel, Vegas, Hawaii, Mexico, anywhere around the world, go to iTex.com. Use the promo code ZELDA, ZELDA. Thank you, Rich McGee. Always giving salute to the elders. And if you are wondering what I'm drinking this morning, I'm drinking tea. I've already had my other drink. You know, I have my apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric every morning because I'm reversed type 2 diabetes, and you can too. It's not as hard as you think, so you don't have to be on those pills the rest of your years of your life here on this planet, because those pills, all pharmaceutical pills, do damage to us. And I've had my share of them, and I'm sure you have too. And if you haven't, you know somebody who has. So just keep in mind that pills do damage. You want to try to get as much nutrition as you can through natural ways. And that is that nasty drink I just talked about. Apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. How I reverse type 2 diabetes. Put it in a blender. Recipes on diabeticdonut.com. Go check it out. Share it with somebody. Download it. It's free. No excuse for you to have diabetes. Okay, so be sure and share that. If you're listening online, you want to share your comments on our Instagram page and right here on the Blog Talk Female Solution platform. You can just scroll down and leave your comments there, and you can also comment on our Facebook and YouTube page, as well as my Instagram page. And I forgot to tell you about the homeless, and I forgot to upload the video because Tony did the video from his phone, so that's another thing that I got to do. Tony, get the video. We delivered last week more food to the homeless shelter, Tent City, and it's getting cold outside now, so they need some things to keep them warm, and those things are tents and butane. Even more importantly, butane, because the butane helps keep them warm, and everybody wants to be warm. And I'm going to pull up our Instagram page so that you can see. If you're a first time visitor here, you get a chance to see what this YouTube page looks like. As you can see, it's called hln.homeless.project. And these are some of the videos. These are also resources that we have for the homeless, those who are in need of housing. So I post everything up there. As you can see, that was our last one. And these are some of the other ones. And it's located on, this tent city is located on Des Plaines Avenue between Taylor and Roosevelt Road. So That's it. Just so you can go there and see that yourself and see the work that we're doing. And keep in mind that these people are just like you and me. They just need something warm to sleep in. And butane will help them keep warm at night. One of those little butane containers that I showed you, I didn't show you on this one, but there's another one. But if you look on them, you'll see because they always need butane. Butane is only like $9.99 for two of them. And I don't know if you can see it on that one, but they're there. So just go to our YouTube page and you'll get a chance to see that. The good work that we do for the homeless. And why do I do this? Because I was raised as a child to serve. And we have gotten so far away from that. It's like me, get mine, I got mine, you get yours. That does not work for society. We need to share. And we live in America. People are dying, risking life and limb to get here. So there's no excuse. We have more than we need. Look in your closet. Look in your drawers. Look in your car, under the seat. You got too much. Give it away. Help keep somebody else warm. And you'll be blessed. So thank you for sharing today. It is, excuse me, time for your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And I received them from Mike House. And this morning, he says, today is my breakthrough. And you know, today is your breakthrough. And all you have to do is be open and receptive to it. So let me share with you from Mike House. And it says Monday, October 24th. Today is my breakthrough. What does heaven look like to you? What does seeking a breakthrough look like? We ask and look for these things, but sometimes have no idea what we are seeking. Our Creator has already provided us all that we need. Love is all around us, but we may fail to respond to it. Each day is an opportunity to proclaim renewed healing, visualization, life, and love. Look forward to a glorious future. Live like the God has already provided you with the breakthrough. The kingdom of heaven is within and within us at all times. Did you hear that? The kingdom within us at all times. And we must remember that. I keep my mind open to the infinite spirit within. I understand that I was created to inherit the kingdom of heaven here on earth. My breakthrough is my good, and it belongs to me today. Thank you, zeal in me, through me, as me, around me, and through the Christ within. And so it is. Neither will they say, behold, it is here, or behold, it is there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Within you. And that comes from St. Luke 17 and 21. And that's your inspiration for today. From Mike House. Who's Mike House, Zelda? Well, go online and Google him. You'll see who it is. See who he is. And when you find out who he is, then you go back and request to receive his daily inspiration. Because it is always so profound. Because you are profound. And one way to stay profound is to activate that greatness that is within you. Because it is that greatness that is within you that accomplishes, if you trust it long enough, it accomplishes everything you need. But you have got to learn how to trust it. And you have got to get quiet. And you have got to get into nature. Well, how is that possible, Zelda? It's real simple. Find your way I sat in the park yesterday. Yesterday, I was so happy. I just couldn't contain myself because nature is healing. Nature is nurturing. So let us become still. Let us become quiet and learn the process of activating the genius, the boldness, the queen, the king that is within you. And we do that with a little help from the designs that Spirit has given me to help activate the power that is within us. See, because fashion designers know some secrets that we don't. That's on my YouTube channel too, so go check it out. Higher Learning TV show. Tony, could you open the window, please? It's a little warm in here. Thank you so much. It doesn't matter because I'm burning up sitting up in here with all these clothes on. My head wrapped, and I got this on too. Anyway, thank you, honey. So let us become still. Close your eyes, sit up straight, feet flat on the floor. If you're laying in the bed, just get comfortable. Close your eyes and begin the process of breathing in through the nose. Hold it for 5 seconds and then breathing out. So we're going to inhale 5, hold it 5, and exhale 5. Okay? All right, here we go. Close your eyes and become still as we begin the process of meditate to activate. Inhale deeply to the count of 5, hold it, and exhale. Once more. Inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. Once more. Inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale. That brings such a relief, a release of anxiety. I feel it immediately in my body. And even though I'm talking and we may not be breathing together at the same time, it is quite all right. We simply inhale through the nose. Long, deep inhale. Hold it for 5 seconds. And exhale through the nose. Another long 5 seconds and push it out. Push, 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 push. Inhale deeply. Hold it for 5 seconds. And then exhale for 5 seconds. And as you continue to breathe in and breathe out with your eyes closed, nothing in your mind, nothing on your heart, but that of love and relaxation, because you want to focus on the breath. And now the breath is your activator. And as soon as you decide that the thoughts that are running through your head are not as important as the breath that you breathe, you take another long, deep breath and give thanks. As we inhale and as we exhale, we give thanks for the power of the breath, knowing that we are always at the right place at the right time. As we inhale, we give thanks for the power of the breath as we bring it up through the nose, to the top of the forehead and the face. And we express our appreciation of the breath through the body as we bring our hands up and we stretch and we move from side to side, releasing some of the tension as we inhale deeply. And this time, let's turn from side to side. I have a high back chair here. So I turn and just feel that squeeze. Inner organs are being squeezed. Oh, feels good. Inhale deeply. And as we exhale, let's turn to the side. And feel that stretch on the other side. Yeah, that feels good. Waking those organs up. It's like we're wringing them out in the morning. Give them a little squeeze. Let the juices flow a little bit different. Let's inhale once more. Hold it. Opening up the heart chakra this morning, let us send nothing but love, light, and energy to everyone, everywhere, knowing that the divine creator within us is always blessing us and giving us, sending us love, light, and energy. And we express that love, that light, and the energy through our breath as we breathe in. Hold it. And as we exhale, bringing the power of the breath down through the face to the shoulders as we rotate those shoulders, move them back and forward, giving thanks for the power of movement because someone somewhere is unable to move on their own. And look at you moving all by yourself. That's why we meditate, to activate the power within. As we inhale deeply, bringing the power of the breath down through the solar plexus and the sides and the stomach and the back and the hips as we continue to breathe in. Hold it, and as we breathe out, sending more love, light, and energy down through the thighs and the knees. Oh, yes, those glorious knees. Rub on those knees and any other part of your body that is sending you signals that it might need just a little attention as we breathe in. Sending more love, light, and energy down through the knees and the ankles and the arches and the top and the bottom of the feet. We give thanks for the power of the breath as we continue to breathe in. Hold it. And as we breathe out, we give thanks for the power of the breath that continues to flow down through our ankles and our arches, the top and bottom of our feet, and those toes. Yes, wiggle those toes, sending that love, light, and energy back up through the legs, through the knees, through the thighs and the hips as we inhale deeply. Hold it. And as we exhale, we give thanks for a body that is able to move because someone somewhere can't even turn over in the bed. I have friends and relatives who are bed bound, hospital bound, hospice bound, and can't do it on their own, and they're all doing it. And you are doing it. They're not doing it, but you are. So you're doing it for them this morning as we inhale deeply. As we meditate to activate, we give thanks for the power of the breath that comes back up through the solar plexus and the arms, and we stretch and bring our hands above our heads, and we stretch again, and we stretch and rotate those shoulders and waking that body up and giving thanks for the power of the vagus nerve that calms everything down in the body as we take these two fingers as we inhale deeply. Bringing all that energy back up to the top of the head. Take these two fingers in this thumb and massage the back of the neck. Giving thanks for the vagus nerve that sends more love, light, and energy and power through this electrical system we call a body that nourishes us and that replenishes us daily as we take our hands and massage the backs of our shoulders, giving thanks for the power of the breath as we breathe in. Hold it. And exhale. As we meditate to activate, we give thanks for the power of the breath as we take this one long, last deep inhale deeply. And this time when we exhale, bring the face forward, chin to chest, and slowly rotate that head to the left. Slowly. Slowly bring it around to the back. Slow down. You're moving too fast. And slowly bring it around to the right. Slowly. And back to the front. Head up. Inhale deeply. Hold it. And bring the head back down, chin to chest. And slowly rotate the head to the right. Bring it around to the back. And slowly bring it over to the left. And bring it back around to the front. Head up. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, look to the left as far as you possibly can, feeling a stretch in the right of the neck. Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. And bring the head back. Inhale deeply. And look to the right as far as you possibly can, feeling a stretch in the left side of the neck. Yes, that feels so good. And bringing the head back forward. And just being with that feeling of how good you feel just by doing that little stretching and breathing exercise. That is why we meditate, to activate the power that is within. That inspirational reading that I just read to you from Mike House is the type of vibration that you want to focus on for the day. Because when you say powerful things, you speak life, not in only in your life, but in the community in which you serve. So let us take one long, last, deep inhale deeply. Hold it. And as you exhale, giving thanks for the power of the breath, beginning with the brain that sent the signals to the rest of the body, to the heart, to the liver, and to the lungs, to the spleen and the spine, and all the systems that are in the body that are working on our behalf, and we don't even know it. We don't even have to think about it. It just happens. All we have to do is breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. We give thanks for the assimilation system that is working, the digestive system. We eat it and it digests, and then we eliminate it. We have a movement. And some of y'all constipated. We ain't gonna talk about that just yet. Yeah, we will. We're gonna talk about Nopalina. Get you some Nopalina, not these commercial um, quick fixes they offer you. That's not what you want. You want Nopal, Nopal, or Nopalina, Nopalina. It's nothing but flaxseed, chia seeds, wheat bran, things of that nature. You have no business taking commercial stuff. It just tears you up. So get you something natural. Nopalina will do it. As we inhale, we give thanks for the power of the energy that flows through us because we are more powerful than we ever know. That's why they keep us in boxes all day long, from your one house to the car to the job to the play to the school. Everything's in a box. Just for today, remind yourself to get out in nature and experience nature because nature is healing. The sky is electromagnetic. The ground is our nature, and we are the force in between them. We are connected. And when we connect with that, oh, look out. That's where all the answers come from. As we give thanks for the power of the breath, we know that we are always at the right place at the right time. So when you are feeling yourself stressed, somebody comes and gets in your face and they don't even know the flavor of your Kool-Aid, you simply breathe in. They're going to look at you like you're crazy, but that's okay. And when you blow it out through your mouth, you blow it out real big so they can smell your breath. You got a little onion, a little garlic on it, you'll be just fine. I promise you, they'll leave you alone. And that, my friend, is your Monday morning mindfulness meditation. And that which you see on the screen is the t-shirts that we offer, Meditate to Activate. They are one price on the website, but if you purchase them today, you can get them for a 50% discount. And this is our favorite, my favorite, Meditate to Activate. And you can choose any one that best fits your desire. Inhale the genius in me, exhale fearlessness. Just one of the many. You can see, inhale love, light, and energy. Exhale negative thought patterns. There's many, many more. Oh, my favorite. Inhale love, exhale hate. And there's so many more. So be sure and check them out on the website. That information is right there waiting for you. But right now it is 7:31 and 7:32, and I apologize for being a little late this morning. When I come back from our first commercial break, we will be going to celebrate more life, community life, that is, with the opportunity to make a difference. I will be joined by our executive producer, Naima Latif, as well as our guest, and that will be executive director of the Chicago Community Film Workshop, and that will be Miss Margaret Caples. But right now, we're going to take our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by them both. And you can join us online on our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show, as well as our Facebook page, Higher Learning TV Show. We'll be right back. And be sure and share this video.
Welcome to Quick Click, where customers can buy, share, and earn. Meet Sam. Sam owns an e-commerce business that sells athletic shoes and running gear. Sam wants to increase her sales without increasing marketing spend. So she decides to list her products on Quick Click. On Quick Click, her loyal customers can get paid for sharing her products with their friends. Sam uploads her products to the marketplace, just like she would on Amazon or Shopify. Meet Laura. Laura is in the market for a new pair of shoes and comes across Sam's brand on the Quick Click marketplace. Laura is able to purchase the shoes and check out like she would on any other e-commerce site. After purchasing, Laura lists the unique Quick link that she can share with friends to begin earning quick cash. Her friend Jessica opens Laura's Quick link on her phone and purchases a pair of shoes. Because Jessica purchases using Laura's Quick link, Laura receives quick cash in her account. After purchasing, Jessica can now share her own Quick link and begin earning quick cash as well. But Quick Click is more than just your typical referral or affiliate platform. Quick Click rewards customers for sales they directly and indirectly influence. So, for every sale Jessica's new Quick link makes, Laura will earn additional quick cash as well, making the potential for earning exponential. Laura and Jessica can transfer their quick cash balance to their bank account at any time, or can even use quick cash to make additional purchases in the app. Meanwhile, Sam can just watch as the sales roll in. Best of all, she doesn't have to worry about costs, since she is only spending marketing dollars when actual purchases are made. Start buying, sharing, and earning today at QuickClick.com.
Crime in Chicago continues to increase. Community and politicians must come together to make a change. No one person can solve these problems by themselves, but I believe together we can make progress. Let's provide job training, economic growth, and invest into our 77 communities. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message. Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
What if you could live to be 120 years old and remain active, healthy, alert, and vibrant? Our bodies are made up of cells that are constantly rejuvenating. So if we take proper care of ourselves, we can literally defy aging. Join us every Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time to learn about self-care from Sean Essentials on the Female Solutions Blog Talk Radio Show. Learn how to help your body and your cells feel rejuvenated each day through proper nutrition, sleep, frequency medicine, and many unconventional methods of self-care. I'm Jody Susan. Join me and my amazing guests by calling in at 515-605-9325 and press 1 to speak. We'll help you achieve a breakthrough in your health today.
Hi, I'm Dr. CJ of Valona Health, where we combine orthopedic manual therapy and neuroscience to treat the whole person. Health tip for the day is keep it moving. Doesn't matter how, just keep it moving doing something you enjoy. Walking, dancing, rolling on the floor with your dogs or kids, really anything. The body craves movement to keep the bones, joints, and the muscles happy. Even our mental health and internal organs and digestive system rely on our movements. Thanks for being a part of the Higher Learning Network, the Female Solution.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, self-cell care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, repairing broken families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, soulful solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, health and well-being with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, success strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, move around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And those are the channels that, well, actually, you can't see the channels, but you will see them now. You'll actually see the producer of the Female Solution. And that would be Naima Latif. Yes, Grand Rising, my sister. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And I would like for you to introduce our guests, since you are responsible for her being here today. So we will also welcome to the platform Miss Margaret Caples, Executive Director. But I'll let you fill us in and all that. Good morning, Grand Rising, Sister Margaret. Thank you so much.
Good morning to both of you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It is a pleasure to have you here. Yes, ma'am.
Well, the Community Film Workshop is an amazing organization that's been responsible for many, many independent producers producing wonderful film. And I first met Margaret when she and her late husband, Jim Taylor, affectionately known as JT, were operating the Community Film Workshop here in South Loop of Chicago. And they hold classes, help filmmakers develop scripts, help them produce projects, and give them the skills that they need to develop an idea from its conception to its end and end up in the theaters. So, and this year-long celebration of 50 years of success in filmmakers produce wonderful projects. We want to invite people to a screening of films by the Community Film Workshop and at a special event being held, I believe it's November 4th, and Margaret will fill us in more about that. And I'm excited because my late husband, Sultan Abdul Latif, was a very good friend of her husband, Jim Taylor.
Yes.
And he also will be appearing in one of the old vintage films that they'll be screening for those who are coming to the event, and seeing some of the wonderful work of many, many filmmakers that Jim Taylor, along with his wife, Margaret, have helped to develop over the years. So, Margaret, you can fill us in on the upcoming event and some of the things we can expect to see and how people can get tickets to come.
I'm excited.
Yes. Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like people just to know a little bit about us, that we started in 1971 to get people of color into the film industry. So there was no other place. So we were the first center in Chicago to do so. And people were trained, and we got them internships and then on to movie sets. We also opened the door for people to get into the local unions. So it's been really a very long progression. And it wasn't easy because there was a lot of resistance against people of color being in films in front of or behind the camera. So one of the things we also did was open up so that we could train younger people, and we started a teen program. Now we have several adult programs. One is the Production Institute at the University of Chicago, where we solicit applications from people of color on the South Side. You have to be a South Side resident because that's the area that the university is interested in helping in terms of bringing culture to and exposure to the South Side. So this is our 4th year, and we've had some phenomenal success. I worked with Cartimquin Film to develop 10 years ago a program to help Midwest filmmakers. And we have been very successful, and people getting Grammys and all kinds of national awards. So the film that you will be seeing on the first Sunday in November, November the 6th at 2 p.m., is a film that was developed by one of our graduates of the Diverse Voices in Docs program, Derek Grace. And the editor on the piece graduated from the Production Institute. So I am just really elated that they chose to do this. They used a lot of vintage footage. They interviewed me and other people around Chicago that have gone through the program. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long story, but it's been great being able to help people have a voice. You know, everybody has a story, but they may not know how to capture it. So we do have programs where you can learn how to even just use your um, cell phone, which is really a great production tool right in your hand. We're looking forward to people coming out on the 6th. There will be just a short, light continental breakfast before the screening, and then after the screening, a question and answer period with me and the producer, Derek Grace.
Give us the time where it starts again.
2 p.m.
Okay, so it's 2
And
p.m.
at the Cisco Theater is 164 North State. It's between Lake and
Randolph.
Randolph.
Just say Lake Street. It's right there. I pulled
Yes,
up your Facebook page, Miss Margaret. And that's your Facebook page. I pulled up one of the Q&A
Okay,
that looked like.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Digital Storytelling Initiative presents. Yeah. That's a 2022
that was a program
production.
that we produced at the University of Chicago. So after 10 weeks, we were intermediate filmmakers come in, and when they finish, they have a 4.5 minute project to show where they can try to get more funding to produce their projects.
Oh wow! Basic filmmaking has already started. Now I saw this is one of our former cameramen. I think is working with you, Armadillo Kazan.
Oh yes, Armadillo.
Oh, everybody knows Armadillo. Yeah, right. He's capturing the history of Chicago with all of
Yes, he has. In fact, he worked with one of our graduates, Oshun Mugwana.
Yes, I remember Oshun.
Yeah, she was an editor at Channel 11, and they produced the Jazz in the Alley. Yeah. So he will be teaching a class with young people in terms of social activist groups in storytelling. You know, our young people are very good with having pretty pictures and things of that nature. But one of the things that we found in our program is they lack storytelling skills, how to tell your story. And so we know that one of the things in all of our programs, we really focus on storytelling, because you've got to capture the message and capture people's heart if you want them to really be able to engage in your subject matter. And that's because of poor storytelling skills. So we hope to really that's Armadillo there.
There he is right there, yeah.
The weapon of choice. Our weapon of choice is a camera.
Now I have to ask you the question, because I see that it ended October 15th. So for those who are interested, is there another one?
We are putting together our schedule for 2023. It's already November almost. Yeah. So we really will be having classes on our website, and we will be sending notices to people in our mailing list. So please go to the website www.cfwchicago.org, and you can find the classes that we will be offering in 2023.
Now I've got a question, because I know that the industry, just the whole process of communications has changed so much with the digital cameras and all of that. How has that changed the way the skills are taught, the classes are set up, even the equipment that's used at the community film workshop from the beginning to now?
Well, thank you, because we started with 16 millimeter film because they were still using that also in the news industry on television, and so we went from that to the big video and to the smaller digital cameras, and now we're all digital. We use digital cameras, and we also use the smartphones. So all of our information, everything now is digital, and that's so wonderful. Before you had to get film processed, you had to edit it and get a work print and all of that. So now all you do is your software is already on your smartphone, and you can edit on your laptop. So
right.
It's really wonderful how this is accessible. And the one group that it has helped the most are women.
Ooh.
Really, we have more women in our program. And because we have a lot of stories,
Yes.
we carry a lot of history.
Yes.
And we're concerned about things in our community. And so women have been really our strongest group of new recruits. And want to learn how to use this way of communicating and getting their community organized and developing community. The South Side is a community that's not walkable all the time. People go home and they close the door. But media is one way of uniting us and sharing our common interests and goals. And women are really taken to it.
Now, you mentioned that the community film workshop was started to bring people of color, us, into the industry. How do you see from its beginning to now how we've been able to impact the world's image of us as a result of having access to the media?
Sadly, not enough. Simply because the images that were projected, some were very stereotypes. And some stories now are beginning to emerge because people see that there's a market for it. The bottom line is green, it's money.
Yeah.
So if you can generate income and you can generate eyes for a product, then your idea will probably fly more. But in terms of community issues, our other programs are geared toward helping people to use that other platform in festivals and on public television and to the theaters. But basically for our community-based, where the impact really will help the most is in changing images, changing our own conception of ourselves and our own image of our community. There's so many good things that never hit the media.
Right.
So many services that we offer that nobody ever knows about, and so many ways that people are connecting with each other. And that's how community programs like this and programs that other women are generating that help our community. And that's one of the things I really want to focus on in the future. We'll still have our programs because we are a boot camp for filmmaking. It's a rigorous program, but it doesn't have to be as rigorous for people who want to use it for other means.
Now, do people, if they have a vision of an epic film they want to create after they've gone through the community film workshop program, do they have the skills to do that?
Well, I'm going to say one thing. A lot. We had one person in our production institute who said it was the best program he'd ever been in, and he went to film school. So,
Wow.
yeah, because we teach you what you need to know. So you have to really have the desire to be a filmmaker. It's a lot of work. And then after that, you have to have a story to tell, and you have to know how to tell that story. So those are the things that we try to help people do. Now, in terms of our programs, we do have, like we're having a screening tomorrow at the Columbia College for our graduates from the Diverse Voices in Docs.
That's my alumni.
Yeah. Yeah, so we are. So they will be screening their stories to the audience. But first of all, and this is another thing one of the graduates in this program this year said. He came to us with a mega series that he wanted to do. And he found out how to shoot a 5-minute movie.
Oh,
Really, you know why? Because then he could condense his idea so that people could buy into his project. You know, when you start talking to people about a series, they want to say, well, where are you going with this with no money?
mhm.
So he's so grateful that he learned how to tell that 5-minute story.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Naima, we have too much information on the female solution not to be doing a documentary of some sort.
I know. I got so many ideas, I tell you.
Yeah.
But you know, Margaret, what you just said about the 5-minute movie, I think the first step is to capsulize it so that people can see the big picture without it taking too long to tell it. You know, just like a commercial, you know, you give people a glimpse of it and then they want to know more. So I guess that's one of the skills that people learn when it comes to storytelling. How can you give us a little bit of it, enough for us to want to know the rest of it, and not take you too long to tell it?
Right. And that's what's so unique. We have a program within all of our programs. There is where you have to say your log line. What is your log line? What's the whole focus of this movie? And why do you want to tell it? And why do you think it's important that you tell the story? And where are you going? What do you plan to get out of this? Who is your target audience?
Wow.
And most people say everybody, you know. Well, you know,
everybody don't watch everything, so you really do have to kind of know who really would want to see this.
Absolutely. And then you'd be surprised. I know you would, because your selection of hosts is so multicultural and varied in all the occupations and things that they're doing. But people all over the world want to know about us. How do we survive?
That's interesting.
How do we create community? People all over the world imitate our style.
Yes.
Our music. You know, so you do have an international market. But first, how are you going to tell the story?
Yes.
You have to tell the story. And that's what's so important, that people learn that. You know, there are a lot of students who have degrees in filmmaking from local colleges. And, you know, we're trying to tap into that audience. They don't think they need to learn anything. They really don't. And they think, but they still lack storytelling. And the other thing they lack is production skills. You know, I was surprised at how many people don't really know how to do a storyboard.
Oh, yeah.
No, they don't do storyboards. They just shoot, and then they don't do pre-production, production, and post-production, and how to get that scheduling and stuff together. So we teach all of those fundamentals, and we get a little resistance because people say we didn't come to learn that, but yes, you did. If you're going to, because your time, your talent's time, and everything costs money. And not only that, you may get something that's very important that people need to hear, and you have bad sound.
Ooh, don't we know that? Yep, we all been through that. It's like, oh my God, none of this because you can't hear us.
Yeah, right.
I had my first experience on a boat. On Lake Michigan. Well, it wasn't Lake Michigan. It was back over by, I can't remember, North Branch or something. Hot summer. Went out on the boat. A friend of a friend took us out on his boat. I'm shooting. Just got my brand new camera, just shooting all over the place. Get home, listen to it. There is no audio anywhere. I was so mad. I was so mad.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know where that film is. I threw the camera and the film in the garbage. That's too cute, but you know. So I understand about the audio.
Yeah. I mean, and if you're shooting an event, there's no do-over. If you miss it, you know, that's it.
That's it. That's all.
Yes, yes, yes. But but the thing is that it's all of this is reasonable now. It doesn't
Yes.
cost a lot of money. And
Mhm.
the one thing is that even in shooting, we know that we have to get out something outside of just the interview or that particular scene. So that we call it A/B roll. You got to get all this other thing,
Background stuff.
Right.
yeah, to fill in. But when you do that, you have to treat it just like you would the rest of your film. So your quality is there,
Mhm.
sound is there, everything has to match. So you need to be able to do that, and that's sometimes you only learn these things through a class. Now there are a lot of good videos on YouTube. In fact, we use some of the better ones because we reference them so that people will go home and watch them.
Mm.
Good filmmakers watch movies, and this is the other thing I'm surprised about is they don't watch good movies. You have to watch some of the classics because filmmakers who are getting Academy Awards, they watch movies, and not only do
Mhm.
movies, they read. Okay,
Yeah.
one of the reasons our stories are so lacking, we don't read.
Mm. Say that. Say
Mm.
that.
We don't read like
We want everything on audio.
especially young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you give them something to read, they be looking at you. What? So
It's
That's
become a lost
interesting.
art reading. Yeah.
Yeah, because it helps your mind think logically, which helps you be able to tell a story because you got to be able to figure out how people think and
Mhm.
how you can take people from one thought to the next. And if you don't read, then you don't know how to do that.
That's right.
Yeah. That's sad, but that's a fact of life. Margaret, in 2019, my little brother Douglas Robinson was murdered in Tent City, and that's one of our missions here at the Higher Learning Network. And I did, I think, maybe a 5-minute piece on it. And as I'm doing my research, reading and watching all these YouTube videos, I had no idea that homelessness was such at an epidemic proportion. And in doing so, I'm trying to contact people to help donate their services, or material goods, or butane, to keep them warm,
Mhm.
and just to get people involved. And it seemed like nobody seems to care. And it's like I went through all of what I went through and still going through to make this little 5-minute documentary. And it's like people don't care. So that kind of dissuaded me not to continue making the film that I wanted to make. So now that I've um, been introduced to you, that has been reignited.
So
So,
I'm gonna tell you what. Some films have to be character driven.
okay.
Identify with that person. A
Mm,
lot of times we lump them all as being people who need mental health
mhm, mhm,
help
mhm.
too. But the thing is, a lot of people lost their jobs, lost their home,
Yes,
lost
yes,
some
yes,
because they were sick. You know,
yes.
their job moved. Divorce. A lot of things. Women have issues that come in their life, and it turns they don't know how to cope. So there's so many reasons for homelessness that we don't need to just lump them all in one thing. But most movies are character driven. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
you gotta
Hmm.
find somebody that people gonna hook into, and they gonna, you gotta find
Feel
those.
like,
Yeah, you got there. It's storytelling. That's the storytelling.
Yeah, we have got to tell the story in a way and find the right character for it
Yes,
too.
and
Yes.
that won't be hard. They probably they probably live next door down
yeah.
mama, grandmama. That won't be hard to do now.
That's
Mhm.
true.
That doesn't have to be a celebrity. It has to be somebody people can identify with.
Okay. Well, I'm learning the hard way. So thank you so
Mhm.
much for sharing that information. Oh, it is 8:02. I do apologize. It is time for our first commercial break. We're going, oh well, second commercial break. And in case you just joined us, we're with Margaret Caples of the Chicago Film Center. Am I saying that right? I got it
Community
down. Don't even.
Film Workshop of Chicago. Is that right?
Thank you. Thank
FWC. Yeah.
thank
Community Film Workshop of Chicago. Yes.
Chicago Community. Yeah, Naima just said it. Let's go.
Community First Community Film Workshop of Chicago.
Alrighty, so let's take our first break. Second break. We'll be right back.
Taxes are higher than ever. Every day, thousands of our residents leave Chicago to shop in Indiana. Jobs are being lost and businesses are relocated. Let's find a way to lower our taxes to encourage residents to continue living and shopping in our city. Let's rebuild. Let's restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of the city of Chicago, and I will work hard to find solutions that matter. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Helping coach world peace restoration of life.
Limited budget was really
Ideology and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I'm directorship team of HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. What happens when a group of people are kidnapped from their homes, smuggled away in chains, and held captive in a foreign land where they are tortured, raped, and forced to perform hard labor by the lash of a whip and under the constant threat of death? Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. What happened to the doctors, writers, scientists, builders, educators, and spiritual leaders from Africa's golden age? Who did they really capture and sell into slavery? Are all African Americans suffering from psychic trauma because of a conspiracy to hide their true identities? Do you have psychic trauma? Take the test on page 22 of the book and see. Order it online today at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. And get your personally autographed copy of this. Slavery, the African American psychic trauma. Do you worry about finances, family, health, jobs, relationships? Are you in? Do you feel stuck? If you answer yes to any of these questions, help is available. Don't worry, you're not alone. It's part of the human process. You only feel this because you haven't mastered the voices in your head. No hype, just down-to-earth, solid, workable tools and techniques that you can practice daily. It's really easy for the soul. Whether you want to learn how not to worry about anything, reverse type in diabetes, publish a book, make your products and service, or just make extra money. To take advantage of the deal of the day, go to zeldaspeaks.com or call 212-409-6619. Mention promo code the Female Solution and get free shipping. That's zeldaspeaks.com or 312-409-6619. Stop worrying today. Visit zeldaspeaks.com.
Grand Rising. And thank you for joining us back here on the Female Solution. Higher Learning with Zelda Speaks. Welcome back to Monday Morning Mindfulness. We are celebrating 50, count them, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Some of you all not even that old. 50 years of Community Film Workshop of Chicago with the executive director. That would be Miss Margaret Caples. So beautiful, such a beautiful picture. And you're beautiful, even more beautiful in person. So thank you so much for blessing us with your presence this morning.
Thank you.
The awesome work that you are doing in the community. I can't wait until next year because we're signing up, Naima. We got
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
Signing up. Put us on the list already. We're there.
Yeah, I got a script for it, and I'm trying to decide if it should be a motion picture, but I think it'd be a TV series. But I'm excited about it, and I'm looking forward to really learning those storytelling skills. I know my husband Sultan, he would get so excited about developing film ideas. And when you're talking about storyboarding, things like that, which I think a lot of wannabe filmmakers don't want to go through the process of thinking it out and mapping it out. It's like wanting to build a house without drawing the blueprint first.
Right.
I just want to start hammering stuff. Well, no, you got to have a plan.
Right.
And that's the thing I think is good that the community film workshop helps people with. If you have an idea, you got to think it out, and it's not going to just fall together. It has to be organized. So that's probably one of those skills that would be helpful if people learned, especially if they want to create something that is going to be long lasting and epic and memorable, because you have to think of those details. And that's, there are a lot of, like you say, even the local colleges, I'm not sure how detailed they get into helping people really think out a story and the skill of telling a story. And what do you want, how is it going to end? And I always think, now when people are telling a story, is it important that they know the ending before they finish?
Well, it's Naima, this is the way it is. A sentence has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and so does a project, and so does a story. And you may not, if you're doing documentary, you never know what you're going to run into. You never know what you're going to uncover or how your story is going to end. But as a storyteller, you may have some idea, may have twists and turns, but eventually you know where you want to go with the story. But so that's a skill. That's something that the writer and the producer will, eventually figure out. But the important part is knowing storytelling and also knowing your craft.
Yeah.
Community Film Workshop teaches the craft of filmmaking. A lot of people say, well, I don't need to know this. I'm going to hire a producer. I'm going to hire this. I said, okay, suppose your sound person doesn't show up. Suppose your light person doesn't show up. Suppose this person doesn't show up. You need to know how to do this.
It's got to be to fill in. You have to know everything that all your crew knows, just in case somebody, like you say, doesn't show up.
The other thing is that you have to know everything. So if you're going to hire someone,
right, you have to know what they should know if they're going to take that job.
That's right. So you need to be able to know how to select your crew. So all of these skills, this is not just going to happen. You're not just going to have a windfall of money where you can hire all of these people. Maybe you will. But even if you do, you need to know how to select the right people for your program. Now, that's one thing I have to say about this movie that's showing on Sunday. Derek went through the Diverse Voices in Docs, but before that, he was a computer person, and he had gone through CAN TV and other things, but he's a real producer. He works producing films and projects, and he has a history behind him. And Nicole, just the year she went through the program, she was also getting her master's from the University of Chicago School of Policy. So you never know where. So I'm bringing in all people with different kinds of backgrounds because you have a story to tell, and this may be one of your ways of telling your story. So, but you bring your life experiences to it, and that's what makes your story unique and of interest to tell other people.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're both CAN TV producers as well, and CAN TV is kind of like a crash course. I mean, was it 8 weeks, I think? And after that, hey, you're on your own, So at the end of the course, you produce, your final project. But a lot of producers, that might be the last thing they do for several months. So those of us that were serious, we developed an ongoing series. But I found over the years, there's a lot of little technical things that I didn't really get an intensive understanding of, like sound, and I always rely on sound people who know sound better than I do. But I've had those situations where, okay, the sound person wasn't there, and what am I going to do? I remember the time I went to the White House, and we were covering Barack Obama. He was presenting some awards, and my partner, who's a sound guy, wasn't able to go, and I had to go. And then I got there, got the camera set up, and I put the headphones on, and the sound wasn't working. I'm panicking. Oh my God, it's Barack Obama! That's who I can't mess up the sound. I mean, I was panicking, and then the other camera people there, I mean, they were so kind, helping me try to, you know, hook things up and everything, and finally got it hooked up, but I wasn't quite sure, you know, if I was gonna come out clear, go, you know. So I ended up, I recorded the sound on my cell phone just as a backup. I mean, thank God when I got back and played the video, it worked, but I was in a full-blown panic because I realized I don't know sound enough. And what happens if I have to know it? And there's not going to be a do-over on this. You know? So I guess now you have to know each thing because you never know when you need to know.
That's right. That's right. And the other thing is that everything isn't free. Can TV gave you what you needed for a free program. Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of money, but it wasn't quite free, but it was affordable. But, you know, again, 8 weeks, I mean, you know, what you expect to get.
Yeah. Well, you know, our programs come at a cost, you know, even with the Diverse Voices and the Production Institute, there's a nominal fee. Let me tell you, sweetheart, for what you get, $100 isn't anything. It's like, it's nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah. So, but our film hands-on film production class is intensive. It's content structured, and it does cost money. It's $600. So I brought that up to say this.
You're serious about doing it? You're gonna pay the $600 because that's not high at all.
You have to invest in yourself.
That's right.
A lot of people go to other places and pay money.
Pay more and get less.
They go to out of town to workshops and seminars. So people do what they want to do, but you have to invest in yourself. The other thing is that you have to know who you're getting your training from. And JT and I never thought we'd be celebrating 50 years. I mean, I thought I'd be retired, you know, and at home in Memphis, Tennessee.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's where my mom is from. Love
Memphis.
So to be here 50 years later, you know, people ask me, well, how you must have been a baby when you started. I said, oh, no.
They don't know black don't crack.
Not if you use a moisturizer.
That's right. Every day.
But the whole thing is that you don't know where your career is going to take you. I didn't choose filmmaking, but when I was a school social worker in the public school system, I wanted to use video with my students because that way they would share things, and it wasn't just me in a therapy group or something with them. So when I went through the first program at the Community Film Workshop, I had no idea that I would be 3 years later, I married the director. and when I went on a sabbatical and came back, he said, well, come down and help me since you're not doing nothing. Okay. So I've been there ever since.
Ever
since. So, but you know, so you never know where your career and your skills are going to lead you, and you have to be open to it. You know, 50 years is really phenomenal for Black organizations to be in.
Yes.
But to be in business in the film industry in this time is even more difficult. You know, there's a lot of prejudice in terms of you're not a ethnic specific organization, because we were developed to include Asian and Hispanic, Latinos, and Native American people, and we couldn't turn down white people who wanted to come to the program. You know? So,
oh no, you can't come. No, you can't do that.
No, not downtown. You know, against you know, you can't discriminate.
Right.
We were downtown, north of the Loop. You know, so it was convenient for everybody to come. When we moved to the South Side, I have to be honest with you, our clientele almost is 90%, maybe 85% Black. Mm-hmm. Okay. However, we need to know how to invest in our own selves.
Yes.
We need to learn that, and we need to learn to support organizations, Black organizations also. And so we are working hard at doing that. But in the meantime, we still are helping people tell stories, tell Southside stories, still tell stories about Chicago, tell stories about our journey. And that's one of the things about this. I really didn't want to do the documentary because it's so much work.
Yes,
Not
it
for
is.
me, but the filmmaker. But during this time, I'm trying to find graduates because when we started, it was all pencil and paper, and we finally got a computer. Everybody done moved. They done,
Mm.
they done changed their names, whether they married or changed.
Yeah, that happens.
Doing all kinds of things. So finding people hasn't always been the easiest thing either. We've changed. We've moved from down north of the Loop to
Yeah.
South Loop.
Because I think I visited you on your own Wabash. I think it was
Wabash, right? Sutan did that Rum Boogie or something like that.
Yeah, that film we were doing, Rum Boogie. That was so much fun.
Yeah, well, I have a copy of that. We're going to show that. We're going to be showing some of our vintage pieces during 2023. So you'll get a chance to see that.
Yeah,
But,
they're going to be showing it at the.
Well, the film is Derek's look at the community film workshop history. There will be some clips from various little short films, but mostly he's focusing on JT and my journey.
Yeah,
which and the things that we went through and how we accomplished it. So it's wonderful. He had a couple of screenings where people could ask him to do certain things to put into. But I think it's going to be great. It will be an opportunity for Chicago to understand who we are, and so that we can get this into communities so they can understand what a resource they have. So that's one of the reasons we really want people to come out and then to share on our web page and everything so that young people don't have to really go. You don't have to spend $40,000 on a college education to get into.
Get in debt.
Yeah, in debt. Because nobody's going to hire you just because you have a degree from a film. It's not going to get you a job. I'm not saying you don't need to go there to get a background and what you need to do and to grow up and to develop other skills in filmmaking in terms of management and everything else that you need to know. But I'm saying nobody's going to hire you because you have a degree.
Right.
You've got to have a story and a good story, and you've got to have connections. And so that's what's important. You have to do that even here in our programs. Everybody wants to tell a story, but they won't necessarily become filmmakers.
Go ahead.
They may become parts of a crew or something, but everybody, sometimes you find out that maybe this isn't what you really want to do, but you want to be some kind of way.
You want to be a part of it some kind of way. One of the things that I've learned, Miss Margaret, was that there is so much more behind the scenes than you will ever even.
Well, this is why I tell you, I would, when I do a screening, I have the young people to sit through the credits. I said, you see all of these credits? I said, those are jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
I said, these people buy cars, homes, take vacations. I said, these are real jobs.
I like to look at the credits too and observe all the different
titles
positions and titles and everything, because a lot goes into making a film.
Yes.
And and I'm always amazed when I see like an animated piece. All the different, they have a whole long list of animators. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of folks to all those pictures, but it takes a lot of things. So if a person is looking at being in the film industry and they maybe want to, because I've got, as a matter of fact, my niece, she's a graphic artist and is looking to perhaps get into animation and things like that. I have other friends with children that are in that industry, and they're looking at how they can take that skill and be hired on a crew. So with the community film workshop, whatever people have to do to graduate or finish the course, do they have to produce something that they can then take to
Oh,
This is what I've done. This is my
all
skill.
of our programs are project specific.
Mm.
Everybody does their own piece.
Mm.
Everybody comes out of it with a project. It always has been that way. Initially, you did a 2-minute voiceover
Mm-hmm.
and then a 3-minute sync sound. So you really had two projects to show. And then you worked on other people's projects and we rotated the crew. So you had credits on other people's projects that you did certain things. And we use that same format. When you talked about change, the only change in our curriculum really has been the technology.
Yeah.
But there's nothing new about how to make film.
So the process is still the same. It's just that the kind of equipment might have changed.
That's right.
So also, is it faster now because you don't have to go through the whole? I remember, the whole process of development and all that, so cutting and slicing. So all that's on the computer.
Thank God it's gone.
Yeah.
We don't even have a stink back anymore. But yes, it's not as time consuming, and you can eliminate a lot of things, but you cannot eliminate the basics.
And speaking of time consuming, we've got some
the basic. Even with people who know, a lot of times they find out that there are certain things that they don't know. And usually people who think they know so much are the ones who make the first mistakes. And so,
I remember a story that Spike Lee tells about when he got ready to make his first film. He borrowed all his money and everything. And somehow the film never got done. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the mistakes that new filmmakers make? They get all this money and they got the actors and everything, and somehow money gets used, but the film never manifests. What are the things? What are the mistakes that are common?
I would say you have to really go. This is one of the things we do in Diverse Voices in Docs, because now we're working with people who want to do feature films. And you have to know the process. You really need to know marketing. You got to know how to pitch your film. You got to have that marketing skill. You got to be able to segment your audience and everything. So there's so much more behind the scenes that you need to know. You're not going to get this in my first beginning class. Don't come in thinking that you're going to learn all that first time. So you're consistent.
The mill.
That's right. But and so there are a lot of aspects of filmmaking that they just didn't consider. They didn't think about distribution.
That's a big thing.
Distribution is
They did. There are lots more things, but in terms of distributing your film and stuff like that. So there are a lot of things that hopefully I'm going to get some of my graduates activated. I hope they'll be watching this film.
Yes.
because it's important that we share our knowledge with our community.
And we've got some callers on the line that want to share too. So we're going to go to the phone lines. If you want to call in 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. And if you want to comment online, you can go to our Facebook or YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show. Jody Susan Calhoun, our Tuesday morning host of Self Care, says, "Hi, gorgeous lady." Hi, Jody. And Chris is joining us this morning. She says, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. Good morning, right back at you." Let's go to the phone lines. 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak as we go to the line 706-202. You are live on the Female Solution Grand Rising. Hi, who's this? That sounds like Baba Kwame Sunhorse
from Georgia.
Well, you asked the question and answered
it. I just had to be sure. It just sounds like how sometimes people sound alike. Thank you for joining us this morning, Baba.
Yes, and it's very interesting that my sister Margaret and I committed to her for 50 years of production and being able to teach our people how to utilize a visual art
And that's a very important part because that's the way we can record our story. Because you had some great Gordon Parks. You know, she spoke about Spike Lee and there's other great film producers. But what we're looking at is moving in the age of change because it used to be canisters of film, and we watched on the television, and that was the way in which they were able to use the word to program people and to tell us the visions of how they saw us in this world. The other part of it is that now we're digitalizing, and we spoke about YouTube. Everybody's watching YouTubes, and we talk about television now. YouTube, that's what it says, really. YouTube.
All right.
Be what? Be programmed by a digital age of an extension of television. Really, we did filmmaking by sitting in nature and watching the scenes of how we community with nature, sitting by the fire telling stories, or sitting at the tree and the young people listening to the elders tell the stories and teach the lesson. Because being able to use the word and use the imagination makes your nation. And using that image is and you were talking about writing and the part about using words. If you take the word word and you took the S off the back and put it in the front, you create sword. How you're able to take those words to cut through or to cause damage or to change those swords into plowshares and help things to begin to grow again and not use it as words are weapons. Because they say the most dangerous thing that the human being has on it is his tongue. That's why we have 32 teeth to keep it behind there. We could do a lot of damage or we could do great things with the word. It's all in how we use it because it activates the program that is in our DNA, which all the lettering that happens from the mitochondria transferred from the woman to the child is being able to activate that. And it's funny because she said her name is Margaret, and you think back to Margaret Burroughs, who started the music in her living room. And here's another Margaret that 50 years later now has been giving us film producers.
Yes.
These are ways in which we capture our story. And I commend her and thank her for a diligent work that we need to create these archives of who we are and of being able to show the next generation, 7 generations, will be able to turn on whatever technology will be able to produce it, but we'll be able to see who we were in this thing called life.
Yes.
I'd like to interrupt just for a moment. Dr. Burroughs was a very good friend of my husband, Jim Taylor, with that whole artist movement.
Yeah.
I worked for a summer in her when her studio, the museum was in her home on Michigan Avenue, and I was really blessed to receive the Margaret Burroughs Award. But the thing is, we tease each other. I said, she says, I'm Margaret Taylor. I said, no, I'm Margaret Taylor because Taylor was her maiden name. we would grill each other. But she was really a very inspirational person in my life and my husband's life. And they were wonderful friends, and I miss her.
Yeah, she definitely was a powerful inspirator of the creative arts community. And when we did a stage play at the DeSalvo Museum, we later turned it into a film. And she was there at the when we did the play, presentation of the play, and did one of her presentations and so forth. And she was just part of that whole historic moment. But she inspired a whole lot of creative artists.
And I want to just mention also, I hate to interrupt you, but that what we're creating now, usually in our lifetime, people remember us in maybe 5 generations, and people will kind of move our memory of us. But our films and our stories will last for generations.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is something that will be in the airways when we will long be gone. And so when we think about what we're contributing for our great, 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 great nieces and nephews, and leaving this legacy that they can witness and
Yes.
show. That's the power of the media then and now. And
That's
that's why we have to have some control of it. And you have control of your story and your image. And now you have multiple platforms that you can deliver it. There's so many, and a lot of these, when they first came up with all this cable, well, they're showing a lot of old films because they don't
Yes.
have content.
yeah.
They need content.
We need content. That's an opportunity. Yeah, I know we got to take a break. But when we come back, I want to talk about that distribution thing that you mentioned because that's a huge piece of it, and we have to control that and learn how and create our own networks of distribution.
Yes.
But we'll be right back.
All righty, stay close, and we'll be right back here with the final half hour with Margaret Caples of the Chicago Film Community Workshop. And Baba Kwame, thank you so much. Hold on, we're going to take our last break, and we'll be right back. Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. How about that? Thanks for sharing.
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solutions Global Radio TV show. We are a part of the online network of Associated Internet.
Are you stressed out?
On air.
Are you ready to learn some quick techniques
Transformative
on how to
interactive radio TV shows? This is such a wonderful time to be alive and to see our human family coming together as one community as a result of that powerful tool, the internet. We can now talk directly to each other all over the world. There's no need for conflict or misunderstanding. There's no need for violence to solve our differences. We can talk to each other face to face until we reach an agreement. On Air offers a fantastic global guide to communicators from all over the world who are using their internet platform to inspire us to strive to be our best selves in order to become the kind, compassionate, loving people we were all born to be. Once we do that, we'll see planet Earth transformed into a place of peace. Subscribe to the recommended YouTube channels, Facebook pages, and podcasts created by these Voices of Enlightenment. On Air provides daily news briefs and a weekly magazine to keep you abreast of events and opportunities. On Air news affiliates in television, radio, and print share information, insight, and interviews with notable personalities. Go to OnAirEverywhere.com for a daily dose of uplifting news. We're on air everywhere, online all the time.
Oh man, I sent the Monday sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark. Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? Because we don't know how to use solar energy, the free energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home, solar energy home, and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456, and schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456.
100% Essentials leads you to wellness by giving you access to more than 20,000 sustainably produced nutritional products delivered direct to your door.
And that is the voice of Andrew Calhoun, Jody Susan Calhoun, I should say husband of Jody Susan. And she'll be joining us tomorrow morning. Always electrifying shows on Tuesday morning. Self-care. I always said I don't have time on Tuesday morning. Well, honey, I make time on Tuesday morning because I learned something. That's one thing I love about being here on the Female Solution. I'm not only a host, I'm a student. I'm a student of life, and I am honored to be a student of life today for Miss Margaret Caples. She is doing such a phenomenal job. And 50 years, oh my goodness, Baba Kwame's son horse said it. I couldn't say more. Celebrating 50 years of community film workshop right here in Chicago. We don't have to go to LA, New York, anywhere. We got it right here. And it's been here for 50 years before some people even born.
Yeah, that's like what, did you say 5 generations? You know,
yeah, that's decades. That's
decades for sure.
And think about how many people who don't know about it.
Well, and until today.
You know what? A lot of people would ask us, well, why don't people know about you? And sometimes the funders would ask us, what's your marketing budget? And I said, marketing, I'm just trying to pay my artists and stuff, you know. So, you know, one of the reasons our organization and Black organizations is it takes money to advertise. It's word of mouth. It's through graduates talking to other graduates. We develop partnerships. One of the reasons we're still here, we develop key partnerships with organizations to help the word out and to work on collaborate. And that's how, but today, you know, we have a social media coordinator, and she's putting stuff out for the young crowd. You know, their attention span is real short. So we have to do stuff that's fast for them. And so, and you know, so now it's more accessible, you know, to get your word out. But even at that, you know, people don't click or do click, or, you know, so it's all hit or miss. But marketing is a very important part of how you get your film out, how you get your project out, and how you reach your audience.
Yeah, because you can have the best product in the world, and if nobody knows about it, it's like,
tell me about it.
You know, that's one of the things I wanted to take a look at, because the internet changed the way we communicate, and it has changed the hands of power when it comes to who communicates. And like you just mentioned, Miss Margaret, we have young people who have taken this skill and mastered the cell phone. They can make films from their phone. They can get the word out across the world. You have people on YouTube that got millions of followers. So it's a different game today. And before, you had to go through certain channels and, you know, certain big industries and all of this before your creation would see the light of day. You know, big studios didn't give their blessing, or if you didn't get a big distribution deal, you might not be seen. Now you got Netflix and all these other ways that films might even not ever make it to the big screen, but yet they're being distributed all over the world.
Yeah.
So how does that change the strategy when we think in terms of telling in your case, telling students what they need to know?
Well, this has been really the first year we've been able to hire anybody. So we're still figuring it out, because when you're trying to meet various segments of your audience, they all require different things. One of the things is that we have been lucky enough through the University of Chicago, their program, to engage graduate students in helping us to develop some models and how to do certain kinds of things. The other thing is that you have to, even with having all of these views on YouTube, how do you monetize it? Because none of this is really without cost. So, all of those things you have to look in terms of what your strategy is, because you can use a lot of time developing tools and that are still not working the way you want to. So it takes a lot of research. It really does. And especially knowing who your audience is and who you're trying to reach.
Right, right. Now I well, this past weekend, my daughter and I went to see the movie The Woman King, which everybody was talking about before it came out and everything, and then there was controversies about it. But as we saw it, we kind of developed an eye to analyze the film, the technique, the storytelling,
Yeah,
all of that. And then after we saw the film, we went to dinner and we kind of did research online to see, okay, how accurate was it historically, which is really fascinating. But when it comes to things like telling a tale that's based on something historic, how does a student go about the kind of research, especially if they want to make it entertaining? Because I know that was part of it, but then there were people that were challenging the historical accuracies because they said, well, the accents weren't quite right and this and that, so you have to make a film entertaining. But how do you?
I want to interrupt you. So because I heard something that I want to miss a point because I'm trying to write down stuff. But anyway, no, you mentioned, and I have to say this: Black people are very critical of Black film.
Yes, we are.
It's a movie.
We are.
Yeah,
it's a movie.
Let's enjoy the movie. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's made up.
Yes. Yeah.
I try to get that over in my first class of filmmaking and film aesthetics. It's somebody made it up.
Yes, it's
a movie.
Yeah,
Put a grip on it, But you don't. If we put other people's images and movies about us through this scrutiny, we wouldn't have the problem we have. They would be more cognizant of what they do. Really. So we have to understand, if you're going to do a historical movie, you do need to have your history together. You have to hire historians. You can't do all that research by yourself. You've got to hire somebody. You got to hire a historian.
You got to hire people who know what they're doing, because you can't do everything.
No.
We have a tendency to want to try to do it, and you can't. You have to outsource things. Chris says it does take a lot of work and strategy, all the different platforms, how to bring them all together. She says the letter O and I have an issue.
Oh yeah, we see that. We fixed it. We know. We figured it out.
Alrighty now. It is 8:46. If you just joined the conversation, I hope you're enjoying the conversation, because I surely am. We have Miss Margaret Caples, honey, and she is breaking it down. I feel like Gary from the T on TMZ. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do watch that crazy show. Anyway, we are celebrating 50 years. 50, count them, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Who has done that in our community, Naima? Nobody but Miss Margaret.
Yeah, I tell you, the longevity says a lot, because that means you've been affecting many different groups of people,
generations.
I mean, we had generation X, Y, now we on Z. I mean, we just and each generation things change, the story changes, the history changes, the perspective changes. So you can really kind of tell the age someone is by the perspective they have on life, what was happening during their time of
It's the same thing I like with music. Sometimes our pastor will say something. He has mentioned music from several different generations.
Young people going, what?
What are you
talking about?
Then they mention their song, and they can identify. So but a lot of times the classical movies didn't do all of that research that we're talking about doing. they knew how to engage people in good storytelling. I'm gonna go back to that.
One questioned how accurate it was, and
Yeah, it was a move.
right? Was the accents right? Was all that?
Yeah, and today we do have to be accountable. I'm not saying we don't have to be accountable to the facts. I'm just saying that as a Black audience, we need to realize that some things it's just a movie,
Right.
and is it a good movie?
Right.
Are we going to support it? And are we going to demand that we have more good storytelling? Because they may miss the mark here or there, and that happens when you're trying to translate it into a moving image and a moving story. So we have to allow for that.
Right. I remember I was young. We were watching the 10 Commandments, and then I looked in the Bible trying to find the scenes were in the movie. Some of them weren't in there, and I'm like, wait a minute, they missed this part, But it was the movie,
Yeah.
There's so many people when they think of Moses, they think of Charlton Heston. That's the image.
Yeah, and it plays every Easter, So
Yes.
So I'm just saying that if it's a documentary, it's real clear that you need to have your facts together.
Yes.
But even with and you want to be as accurate as possible if you're saying something historical. But it takes a lot of people having a lot of study with languages and things like that to really get some of these accents the way they need to have them done.
Yeah.
So I don't. I speak English. That's it.
I know that's right. You're not gonna make me speak anything else.
Yeah.
You might want to. Chris says music has the ability to transcend generations. Yeah, it will bring the old and the new and the young all together.
Yeah,
but definitely, like if you're doing a piece, whether it's a movie or even a documentary, whatever, but if it's supposed to be for a certain period of time, you need to know the music of that time, because that does sort of define the time. Like if you're doing something from the 50s, you can't be playing 80s music in the background.
Right. No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. And surprisingly enough, the images also transcends in generations. Teach our children to respect their heritage. Just respect what they're going through now and what legacy they will leave their children.
Yeah.
They rethink a lot of things that they're doing in terms of their contribution to the community and to the culture of Black culture.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that fad of sagging pants to go out of style. I really am.
We might be waiting.
Now they're making them in the stores like that. I mean, yes. I see.
Well, you have to stop buying them, and we don't buy them, so they know what their market wants.
Yeah.
You know what? It's just like with anybody new to a situation, they have to grow.
Right.
The other thing is who's teaching. See, that's another thing in terms of our society. I train in a certain way, and I don't let 14-year-olds dictate to me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's just not if it's my way. I'm trying to help you get a job. I'm trying to help
you
do things that.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that. Chris says, me too, saggy pants. I'm coming out the store the other day, and this is a brother coming out. He was coming out the store, and he had a cup in his hand. He said, can I get a change? And I had 51 cents. So I gave it to him. I'm coming out of McDonald's. I went there to get me some water. And his pants were literally almost to his knees. And I said, brother, young man, pull your pants up, baby. He said, yes, ma'am. Pull his pants up, walk right on down the street.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't say it, then it was all right. Yeah.
I said, I don't want to see your behind. You asking me for my money? I don't want to see your butt. Now, if you pull your pants up, child, he pulled them pants up so quick and just took right on off. 515-605-9325. Let's hear your story. 872-901. You're live on the Female Solutions. We got about 5 more minutes.
I want to say one thing in terms of young people that I've learned. They're children.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
That's
It's our responsibility to
Yes,
teach them as adults.
That's right.
I'm
Absolutely.
not scared of them. People
No.
say you should be scared, but I'm not. I'm sorry.
They are
Pull your
children,
pants
and
up.
they
You
think
know, they
like,
just and they're looking for love. See,
yeah.
that's why the certain organizations can have a grip on it.
Yeah.
They are looking for love.
Chris
And,
said walk like penguins.
Yeah,
yeah,
you trying to yeah, that is.
but you know, we just have to learn how to disregard
Love them anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
love him right through it.
that's
I,
it.
I showed him love by giving my 51 cents. I saved my quarters. So
Yeah,
I showed him some
51
love.
cents and a word of advice. You know,
Yes.
pull
Yeah.
up your pants.
You asking people for money, you need to look presentable because they already judging you because you out here looking crazy. Okay, so we got like, whose mic did I just open up? 872-901. Hi, who's this? Where you calling from?
Good morning to all. This is Lois in Chicago.
Hey, Lois in Chicago.
Good morning. You know, what is the location? And I want to say, Mr. Margaret, thank you so much for 50 years. 50, I know that I know you had God with you all the while, and I'd just like to know personally, from the 50 years to, let's say today, with the modern technology that's being used in comparison to 50 years ago, would you say that this has enhanced the productivity of your business, monetary wise and otherwise, as far as employees and what have you, or do you think it's worse?
Okay, make that a short sentence so I can answer.
You said make that a short sentence, Miss Lois. She said,
Well, ask it again, a little shorter, so you can get the main point.
yeah, make that a short sentence.
Okay, so the main point, are you making more money 50 years ago, technology-wise, and more productivity with the modern technology? And does it cost you more then, or does it cost you more now? 50 years later, is it better or worse?
In terms of the community film workshop, are we making more money now? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, is technology costing you more, or is it actually taking you more money?
Well, the technology is not costing us more because the cameras are smaller and cheaper, and the equipment is more accessible. And we've had an editing class, and a lot of the, at least half of the class brought their own computer. So they can edit right there while the instructor was teaching them, and they didn't have to transfer it or anything. So the technology hasn't improved in terms of how accessible learning is for people. In terms of the workshop, this has been the workshop really has existed on a very lean budget for 45 years. I just have to be very honest with you in terms of what happens with a Black organization. We have been very fortunate the last 4 or 5 years to be able to get some major grants and support from other organizations. So it has enabled us to hire some staff and to be able to do all of this work. You can't do this work alone if you're going to have an impact. So we're just really taking our beginning steps into reaching a larger audience. And this is what I was very happy to appear on this program and be able to touch people all over the country, the world. Jesus, this is wonderful, you know. But it's and I'm glad to get the feedback that I'm getting from the audience.
Yes, it's been great.
This is phenomenal, woman, that you are, because this is phenomenal work that you do. I don't know anybody else who has done that. Do you know him? And I know you know a whole lot of folk too.
I don't know anybody that's been doing this for 50 years and has all of these filmmakers that have come through there and have gone on to make an impact in the world. So here it is, right here in Chicago, the Community Film Workshop of Chicago. And tell us one more time where people can go online to get tickets to find out about the upcoming event.
Well, first of all, people can go to our website, www.cfwchicago.org. And you can click on any of the pages and just just have a good day watching some of the videos on the
Ooh.
line. The program that we're talking about today is the screening of What's Your Story? The Community Film Workshop's 50-year journey. It will be held November 6th on a Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Gene Siskel Theater downtown at 164 North State. You can go online to this Gene Siskel website, and you can click Black Harvest, the Black Harvest Film Festival, and you will be able to see the link to purchasing the ticket. The tickets are only $10. We're having a continental breakfast before the screening, and after the screening, we will have a question and answer period. So I look forward to seeing a lot of old friends and new friends on Sunday, November the 6th at the Gene Siskel Theater.
And it's only $10?
Only $10.
All right. Wow.
And what time does it start again?
2 o'clock. The film starts at 2, but you can get there earlier for,
That's why I was a little confused. I said continental breakfast at 2 o'clock. I thought I was the only person that ate breakfast at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We will be there. We will be there, won't we, Naima? And thank you so much for having us on Sunday.
I'll be there with the family.
Sure. Thank you.
We'll be there with the family. And I want to thank all of our listeners. And oh Lord, it's 8:59. I am so sorry, Naima. We got carried away. I've got to play the closing.
Greet all of our viewers and listeners all around the world.
Are we doing the after show today, Naima?
Depends on your time. I'm free. I always make time for you. So if you'd like to.
All righty. Well, we're going to play the closing. Miss Margaret can hang around if she wants, but if she doesn't, thank you so much, Miss Margaret. We greatly appreciate you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all, and I do have another appointment.
Okay, I figured you had to get to work by now, but
yeah.
All righty. We will see you on November 6th. We'll see you then. Thank you so much, Miss Margaret. Keep doing the great work you're doing. God bless.
God bless you.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace.
Leave your comments about today's show. You can always reach me on my website at www.naimalatif.com. That's www.naimalatif.com. Watch our TV shows, listen to our radio shows, order our books, and be sure to get your copy of the book, The Female Solution. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussion. And to our global family listening all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, Shushe, India, Mandala, Japan, Arigato, Korea, Kamsahamnida, Russia, Spasiba, Germany, Danke, Poland, Dziękuję, France, Merci, Spain, Gracias, Italy, Grazie, Egypt, Shukran, Ghana, Madasi, Nigeria, Eshe, South Africa, Malta, Senegal, Jerez, Kenya, Asante, Israel, Jordan, Pakistan, Shukriya, Afghanistan, Tashakur, Saudi Arabia, Shukran, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, and may peace be upon you, and the mercy of God, and God's blessings.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
And that is all the channels that you can see us on, and we are officially in.
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But then, how do we kind of continue to?
And in case you're wondering who that is sitting there on the screen, it is the official after show and the executive director of the Female Solution, and also producer of OnAirEverywhere.com, Naima Latif. Take it away.
Yes.
Oops. What?
Oops. Yes. And of course, we do a daily newscast at 1 o'clock Central Time. Go to www.blogtalkradio.com/onairnews, and you can listen and you just give you a recap of what's happening in the day, what's happened over the last 24 hours. Some uplifting things, give you maybe a report from the White House, what the president is doing or has done or will do that he's talking about. Some of the election issues that come up during the last week or so. This is a very intense time with our election and many states that hang in the balance in terms of Republican and Democrat. But, we want to always approach it from a higher perspective. On Air is higher conscious media. So what we do is give you a perspective of what's happening in the world from the standpoint of the progress that's being made and continues to be made based on the fact that people are working towards a better society. And sometimes we face some challenges in between, but the good news is that we have the power to create the kind of society we desire. So we just have to make that happen. And we always want to make sure that we're balanced and giving you some of the good things that happen as opposed to all the things that depress you and make you feel fearful and hopeful and hopeless, because truly there are many more people doing good things than there are doing harmful things. So we bring you that good news. And so listen in at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, and wherever else you are in the world, adjust your time so you can hear our live news report, the On Air Daily News.
And HWPL issues statement on human rights crisis in Myanmar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you see that lady in the little red hat right there? I need you to talk about that for a second because that's important.
Well, I am so excited that we have hooked up with the Global Peace Organization, HWPL. I've had the privilege of traveling to their Global Peace conferences twice. And just so happened it was during the time my daughter was living in South Korea. And so I was able to make a vacation as well as a journey to be an international journalist and cover this event. And I was surprised when I first saw the Global Peace Conference that they have every September. I'm like, where are the American journalists? How come we don't know the whole world is gathered here organizing for peace? How come we don't know that's happening?
Right.
I was shocked. I mean, it was like a great big stadium full of people from all over the world, and they're organizing these various committees and groups and religious organizations, all the various religions represented, all the various countries. And they're going over this document called the DPCW, the Declaration of Peace, Cessation of War, that all the governments are agreeing to. I'm like, where's America? How come we don't know this is happening? This is crazy. It was amazing. And we had a chance to do some shows there, some live shows. Of course, the time difference is there. So I think it was 9 p.m. there when it was 7 a.m. here. So we were at night doing these shows and it's in the morning here. But it was great because we had a chance to talk to people from Greece, from Albania, from Russia, from all over the world at this conference here, from India. And it really gives you hope to know that there is an organized effort to change what we're experiencing in terms of all of this fear and violence, because people have gathered and organized and planned out how, if each nation would just follow these steps, we would never have to solve a problem through war ever again. That's the goal. So I'm just, sounding the alarm so that America can get on board. Look, everybody else is with this program. Where y'all at? Because, I was amazed that all the other nations had all their journalists and the American media wasn't there. And I'm like, how do you not see this? So now I understand that Chairman Man-Hee Lee of South Korea, the founder of this organization, he's expected to come to America in 2023. So we'll be ready, getting geared up to cover that. And when they had a major gathering and he came to the States a few years ago, he wasn't able to make it to Chicago, but we did get an address online. And then we had a big, well, you were there, big awards ceremony for many of the people throughout Chicago that have been doing some excellent work for peace. Dr. Willie Wilson was one of the awardees. As a matter of fact, at the top of the Sears building, I guess they trying to call it the Willis Tower, but Sears, you know how it is. At the top of the building, Sears Tower, now Willis Tower, we had this event, and many notable people who have been effective in their work in the community were honored by HWPL and Chairman Man-Hee Lee at that event. And we covered it in our magazine, On Air Magazine. I'll go get you a copy of that in a minute. And here's right here. And we had a chance to let people know of some of the wonderful work being done by a number of citizens in Chicago that are making a difference. And like Miss Margaret was saying, we don't always hear the story. So, a lot of major people like Walt Whitman with the Soul Children of Chicago, sending a beautiful message through song throughout the world. Judge Stanley Hill has been doing this wonderful speech competition for the children through the Rainbow Push Excel program, teaching young people how to memorize these very powerful speeches being given by people who've impacted the world. And it's just amazing. Colonel Damon Arnold, who's a medical director and special investigation department with the HCSC and the Blue Cross Blue Shield, done some amazing work. And our own Queen Mother, Reverend Helen Sinclair, I believe she's going on 102 years old now. She's been on our show a number of times. She's done some amazing work in the prisons and uplifting those who are serving time, giving them spiritual insight and inspiration. And like I said, 102, still going strong, travels back and forth to Africa. And she was a running buddy with Dr. Margaret Burroughs. And just amazing spirit. She was one of the honorees. Arnita Habil, the late wife of Daniel Habil, who's been on as well, founder of the RTW Veterans Center, helping so many veterans of war. Diane Latiker, who's also been on several times, the founder of Kids Off the Block, keeping a memorial of those who have been tragically, their lives have been snuffed out, and doing so much to show how to be a community mom and really mother the children who need mothering. Like Miss Margaret was saying, they just need love. And so Diane Latiker has been one of those giving love. Dr. Amina Matthews, she's the Chief Executive Director of Pause for Peace, known for her appearance in the documentary Violence Interrupters, along with T.O. Hardiman, who done some amazing work stopping violence in the community before it happens by being able to talk to the people involved and getting them to calm down and solve their differences peacefully. Dr. Lynn Muhammad, she's another amazing woman, traveled with us to South Korea. She's been doing a lot of peace work in the schools, that she runs in the classroom that she teaches. We also had Audrey Kenner, another media person with an inspirational show on cable TV. And of course, we had my own good friend and partner, he was a partner in crime, but our media company partner, John L. Alexander, for his fantastic work in photography, capturing so many of these historic figures and moments, and of course, is publisher of the On Air magazine. And we've had a chance to remind people that great things are being done, and they're being done all over the world, and people are organizing all over the world in order to make a better world. It is happening. And this is why it's important, like Miss Margaret said, we have to tell our story, because when we don't tell our story, nobody knows it's happening. This is why we must master storytelling and the media and all of the new systems that produce images, so that we can be the ones that define what happened in the minds of not just today's generation, but for generations to come. That's the work that we're doing, and that's the job that we have, and that's the mission we're on.
So thank you, Miss Margaret. Chris says you are absolutely lovely. It was very nice to celebrate you this morning. Miss Margaret didn't get a chance to see that, so I'm going to have to take a picture and send that to. Actually, I have to send it to you because I don't even have her number.
Oh, let me. I'll pass it on.
So, Miss Margaret, we know you had to leave because you had responsibilities this morning, but I wanted to show you, this is what someone said about you after you left. Actually, they said it before you left. I just didn't get a chance to put it up there. So we thank you, Miss Margaret. We appreciate you, Margaret Caples, for doing the wonderful work that you're doing in the community with the, what's the name of it again, Naima? I don't want to get it wrong.
The Community Film Workshop of Chicago, CFW.
Is that .org?
Well, let's see. I think their website was CFW Chicago. Let me double check, because you pulled it up on screen, so you probably still have it.
Okay, I'll send it to you. You send it to her.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the Chicago Community CFW. That's what it was. CFW Chicago Film Workshop Chicago. I can't even spell now. Chicago dot. I think it's .org.
Yes.
Yep, it is. It's .org right now. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And what she was saying about the challenge to overcome to get us in the industry, that's been an ongoing thing, because you look at when the major networks, when television, well, first of all, when we went from radio to motion pictures, the power to create an image. What is that story? When the first movie came out, Birth of a Nation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember which president it was that they were watching. They had a screening. I know it's
You'll think about it when you get off the phone. You know how that goes.
But it was, and he was so excited. He said, "Oh, it's like writing history with lightning," and something like that. And he was just so excited. And of course, we know that movie Birth of a Nation was one of the most racist pieces of propaganda ever produced. And it was a way to get white people all over the world afraid of Black people, and a way to justify the repression that happened after Reconstruction. I think it was Woodrow Wilson. Yes. And so the media has been a weapon used against us for decades. So to get us in the industry and to have this be our weapon of choice, as the advertisement said, this is powerful, because we now get a chance to counteract and dismantle all of that negative propaganda that has shaped the minds of generations of people, and justified the mistreatment that has happened for so long. And we're fighting that battle every day. We see the news clips
every single day we see them, and of course there are technical difficulties which we always have, and we are just so used to them. It doesn't even phase me anymore. So I'm going to try to bring back in the Community Film Workshop of Chicago until we get Naima back up here. I think she just got logged off some kind of way, but I want you to see this. This is the information. This is what we talked about today, and it is the it is the home of the community. And I am putting this out here: Community Film Workshop, and it is .org. I said dot something. I don't know what I said, but it is Community Film Workshop, and actually it's CFWC. CFWC Chicago. And I don't know why I can't spell right now. CFWChicago.org. There you go. .org. Alrighty. So if you're thinking about sharing your story, now's the time. And Naima is back. And there's who she is. There she is. Okay, there she is. Okay.
All right.
She's back.
Yeah, so we know that what it takes to influence thought is just having the power of the media in your hands. And all of us have the power in our hands. We got a cell phone that has a camera and even software like Miss Margaret said, right in the phone is editing capabilities. We can send it all over the world, literally, that one little device. So things have changed. And like she was saying, camera used to be this great big bulky thing, and then they got to be smaller and digital. Now they got a tiny little cell phone. Everybody has the capacity to tell their story and record it for all time and send it everywhere. And this is, I think, where the generations are changing, because some of the people, some of the elders, they haven't really quite grasped that it's this simple now.
Yeah.
You can talk to people all over the world in real time, in an instant. I mean, we do it every day with our host Jana. She's 6 hours ahead. So when we're doing our 12 o'clock noon show on Saturday, when she's doing it, it's 6 o'clock for her.
Right.
But we're still talking right now. Whatever time now is for you, we're talking. So the world has speeded up so much, and technology has made it possible for us to tell our story so fast. Whereas, like she was saying, it used to be you had to go through all these different steps to first you gotta to shoot the film, and you got to develop the film and process it and do all this stuff. You don't do none of that now. You hit a button and you got it instantly. And you hit another button and you send it all over the world instantly. How powerful is that? So this is why, when you see these YouTube videos or Facebook YouTube videos, and all these things where people are recording things, you have to really be mindful of what story are you telling. Because you can make people angry or you can make them happy. Now, what I try to do when I'm going to share something, I try to share something that's uplifting. I try to share things that will inspire people or give them hope. I've got one of my Facebook pages is, I believe that one's the one that's called Inspire. But I share stories that are inspiring, good news stories, people doing good deeds and things like that. because I want people to see that there are really more people doing good deeds in the world than there are people doing harm. You wouldn't ever get that impression if you watch the news, because you always think everybody's hurting everybody. And when you feel that way, you live in fear, you live in suspicion, you can't be friendly to people because you got this image planted in your mind, oh, they might pick my pocket. And so you lose the capacity to live through your intuition, which tells you if somebody's gonna pick your pocket.
Right.
So if you get rid of the prejudice coming from the media and live by your intuitive senses, you can relax. And you can enjoy the presence of people who don't mean you any harm just because they may look different, even if their pants are sagging under the butt. They really don't mean you any harm.
Right.
And this is what we have the power to do, is tell the story that makes people feel like the earth really is a good place to live. And we don't have to always be angry or upset, because we don't have to keep sending each other those images that make us angry and upset. And this is why I'm really pushing for us to choose what we're going to put in our minds every day. Choose the shows you're going to watch. Choose the programs you're going to participate in. Choose the images that you're going to let get implanted in your subconscious mind, because they will affect the rest of your day. I mean, you can start your day out with, 20 people got shot and 15 people died. I mean, you can start your day with that, or you can start your day with, there was a little old lady who saved a little baby from getting hit by a car because she wheeled her wheelchair out on the street and scooped them up. I mean, you can whatever kind of thing that makes you go, oh, that's really great, that's wonderful. You can decide what thing you want to start your day with, because whatever happened in the world, I mean, you weren't there, so it's really not affecting you if it was somewhere else. But you can decide which thing you want to implant in your mind to give you that feeling that you're going to carry with you the rest of the day. You can start with the good news, you can start with the bad news. But why would you want to keep putting bad news in your head? Because it's going to probably make you have a bad day.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Yeah.
Baba Kwame Sunhorse is still on the line. Baba,
you got a thought you want to share?
Baba, unmute yourself. There you go.
Yes, and that's been an excellent assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And what we're sharing, and I commend you for having Margaret, because that is honoring one who has been diligent in the community, and we're about re-imaging our community. And she was a base that can show us what community was 50 years ago and what community is now. The part that I was here was I did a festival this weekend at Tuskegee, Alabama. It's called Nature's Gardens, Victory and Peace. And what the theme was for the festival was a village re-imaged. And she was a teacher. Her name is Muja Shakur. And what she has done there, she used to be a professor at Tuskegee, and she retired, and she bought 47 acres. And we've been building that community as an oasis for the overground railroad. And we're putting A-frame houses, container housing, and we have gardens there that people in the community come and plant their gardens, and then students that are studying agriculture come there, and it says, and the elder black farmers come and show the youth how to, get the best from the earth by what they're doing and what they're growing. The thing that I see is that we're reawakening that which is, the first films are in our mind. They're called dreams. And what we have to do is that how do we see that vision? And first of all, it begins, you have to go within. And the film that we project is happening in the mind. And what images that you see, that's why I say words, and you take the S off and you put it on the board, you can create swords or you can create polish. flower shears. So what we're doing is looking at how do we use our words and how do we help the children, because there were many children there. And the way that we help the children, I had a little young man, he was maybe 7, 8 years old, and introduced him to the foot lodge. He had a little fear at first, but you coax them through their fear and let them think that they can do things that they see that is constructive in the community that the people are doing in the spiritual way. What we're needing is that what is in the heart that our children come forth, because that's 5 decades or 2 generations that she's been making these films and teaching us how to create what's inside and bring it out and put it onto the screen, because we see the creators film every day the sun rises as the actors is being performed. The whole world is the whole world is a stage, but they forget to say that the creator wrote the script. So he knows every part that we're going to play. Every animal, every tree, every seed has its part that it plays in this film called life. And what as a people producing to show ourselves to the world. You just said that you went to a conference and nobody from this country was represented, but you who went there from here. These are the challenges that we have in Information Highway, that we can begin to do this, but it's in nature that it already has that internet, because there's a thing called the 100 monkey theory. 99 monkeys will go down to the water and wash their food. When that 100th monkey walks and goes down and washes his food, every monkey on the planet will begin to do that same thing. That's how we're interconnected. It's the divine intelligence. So it's understanding how, yes, we have all of this technology and we have all of this artificial intelligence, but what is the divine intelligence? That's why I shared. We're sitting around the fire telling the story, and we communicated by the heartbeat. We use drums to talk to each other.
Yes.
We use smoke to talk to each other.
Yes.
We use telepathy by sitting and thinking. The walkabout in Australia, the Aborigines would have a gathering, and they would be on one side of the continent, the ones on the other, and they put the thought into a song or dance, and every person that was Aborigines would come to that area because they knew how communication of spirit.
We'll get there. We'll be learning that or relearning that, remembering that skill soon, because that's this internet. That's a prelude to what we really like you described is a prelude to us remembering how we already know how to do that, to connect all around the world through our minds. Our bodies can do everything that technology can do. We just have to remember how to do it. But it's there. Absolutely. That's right.
And that's why I said that the theme was a village re-image. We're making a new image because we already have our ancestors told us it takes a village to raise a child. But the part that we forget is, what does it take to make a village? It takes Naima, it takes Zelda, it takes Brother Kwame, it takes Margaret. It takes each person to help bring that life that comes forth from the womb onto its mother and how it interacts with its mother earth.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We can become that village wherever we are. And I was mentioning the Facebook page that I created called Get Inspired, where I always share inspirational videos. And I'm looking at one now. They had a piano in the prison, and one of the inmates started playing this gospel song. So all the inmates, and they're, you see them black, white, all different races, they're all singing this gospel song together in prison. And you look at this now, we're in prison uniforms and everything. But it just lets you know that the soul of a person is always connected to the divine, no matter what their circumstance might be at the time. And you can always recover that. You can always reignite that. And so looking at this, I mean, it's inspirational because you realize that no matter what these men have done, they still can appreciate and express a love for God. And these are the kind of things that we have to remind ourselves of when we start getting discouraged about humanity. Everybody has that capacity to be that 100th monkey, like Baba Kwame is talking about, to understand that we are here to love each other and to serve each other in a way that is for the good of all of us. And no matter where a person is in their awareness now, eventually they're going to get to that point. So we just have to keep encouraging them and believing it's going to happen and visualizing it, because with our thoughts, we're making it happen. That's why you got to decide what you're going to put in your brain, because what you put in your brain, you're adding to the collective thought, the collective mind. The collective mind is creating our reality. If we don't like what we're seeing, we have to add a positive thought to the collective mind, and we can steer it in a different direction. What you think is what you're creating. This is why we have to be conscious creators.
And we have to be conscious of the time, because there are some phones that people have their hands raised who have not spoken. Did I take 872-901? Did I take that?
872-901. Yes, you did. I think it was Lois.
Okay. 773. Oops, they just hung up. 312-671. You're live on the Female Solution, Grand Rising. What's your name? Where you calling from? Minister Plump.
Minister Plump, Robert Florence Plump. We bring a rising to you all, and I shall welcome. Beloved, how y'all doing?
We're wonderful. How are you today?
Oh, I am fantastic. Yes, ma'am. We are fantastic. And I'm so glad that you had that sister. You know I got to give you the program, Sister Name.
Yeah.
I didn't get her telephone number, but you can give it to me. I'm going to call you a little bit later, you know, off the air or on the air, or you can give it to me now. But
I don't have it in front of me, but I can certainly text it to you.
Education with her because of our historical music. And you know I got to tell my story and the connection with Neil Washington, with Dr.
Well, you got about 30 seconds to do that, Minister Plump. You got Minister Plump. Listen. He don't hear nothing I'm saying. You got about 30 seconds.
He's on a roll.
Sign off. We got about 30.
We about to go. But yeah, I can make sure that I connect you to her.
To get the information so I can do the collaboration with Ms. Margaret Caples. Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for calling, Minister Plump.
Yeah, we'll make sure I send that to you so you all can connect and you can come to the event and meet her in person. Yes.
Yeah, just come to the event. Yeah, you can definitely meet her in person, because that is Sunday, November 6th at 2 p.m. at 64 North State Street, and you can meet her there. So thank you so very much. We greatly appreciate all of you. Appreciate you. But I just have to show this video that one of our producers at the Higher Learning Network sent me, and he said you have got to see this. So I have got to show this. It was a Twitter remark on. Well, I'll just let you see it. How about that? Soledad O'Brien, journalist, shared this information, and here it is.
I felt that I had a message, but people did not choose to listen to what I was saying.
We all understand that she sat down on the bus.
The policeman, he said, "Why don't you stand up?" I said, "I don't think I should have to stand up."
The narrow narrative of her just on one day did something couldn't be further from the truth. Often the man is out front, and you never hear about the wife. The reverse is true.
She was considered a threat.
Espousing radical views.
If they could see her talking about the Republic of New Africa, her out there with the Panthers, then they would understand the real Rosa Parks, but they might have been just a little frightened.
She has been an activist for over 3 decades.
For Ms. Parks, it was especially dangerous.
Fighting on issues that are still very much at the forefront.
She never gave up She lit the torch to the next generation.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, yeah.
I had a message, but people did not.
Yep, people weren't ready for
She
it.
did more than not give up a seat on the bus. So
Yeah, it was a whole lot more than that. So
yeah,
you needed to know that. Baba Kwame Sunhorse, you want to give us a sign off before we leave?
Yes, and we have to re-image our people in this global world as to who we are and what we're going to leave the next 7 generations. Because it is our time to stand and be counted again as the first human being. So we have to be able to tell our story. And these are the ways this program, females have the solution, because she's the life giver. That's the most positive part we have to understand.
Amen. Thank you so much, Baba Kwame Sunhorse from Georgia, an elder here on the Female Solution who calls in and comments and shares his words of wisdom. We so appreciate you. And we appreciate you watching the show today. And do remember that sharing is caring, because more people than not need to hear this video. And we thank you. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, stay tuned to your next Monday Morning Mindfulness next week. And tomorrow, stay tuned for Jody Susan of Susan Essentials, who will be sharing with us information on how to continue to take care of ourselves. Closing comment, Naima?
We want all of you to attend the celebration, the screening on November 6th, just $10, but it will empower many great filmmakers to come. And we want to continue the work of the Chicago, the community film workshop of Chicago, as led by Miss Margaret Caples Taylor. And we're really excited to be a part of a collaborative effort. We're going to keep in touch, because all of us are providing power to those who wish to create images that will last a lifetime. So go to cfwchicago.org and get your tickets for the event, and we'll see you there.
All righty. And on that note, we want to leave you with stress relief that's always available to you. It's only a click away. So please enjoy this video. It is the last one, well, next to the last one you'll see, because I'll play another one after this one. But we ask you to share it with somebody. We all know somebody who's stressed out, don't we? Alrighty, so be sure to share this. Thank you so much. Stay on purpose, stay empowered. Stay tuned to tomorrow morning. Self-care with Jody Susan on the Female Solution.
Are you stressed out? Are you ready to learn some quick techniques on how to de-stress immediately? Then book your free 30-minute consultation with Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, at higherlearningnetwork.org. Thanks for sharing.
For all you stress relievers, go to your phone, pick up your phone and dial 219-699-2114 for exclusive access and inspirational updates. And we will include you in that information. So that is available for you. So when I say pick up the phone, I do mean text. I don't mean call. That information. So that is available for you. So when I say pick up the phone, I do mean text. I don't mean call. Don't know where that came from. Okay. I don't know where that came from.
You'll be dear Christ. All right.
I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you so much. I will see you back here tomorrow with Jody Susan. And we will do it all over again. And keep in mind that Zelda Speaks, the Mindfulness Stress Relief Coach, is available for training, speaking, and training workshops on a variety of workshops. So check it out. And remember to share. And thanks for watching. Make it a great day. Peace.